There is a tyranny of cultural orthodoxy that is now being imposed on communities, irrespective of whether they want them or they've ever voted for them or they need them. It's being imposed nonetheless. And it also begs the question, are councils really representative of their local communities, or are they prey and hostage to the tyranny of the cultural orthodoxy that I've just introduced you to? Listen, the people of Central Otago have been contributing the finest of their young men to international conflicts that New Zealand's been involved in since the Boer War in 1899. And like most of New Zealand, in fact, New Zealand, Peter, I think you'd be aware, has more war memorials per capita than any other country in the world. And sure enough, the place where we live, Cromwell, has one as well. So they had to pull down the old Cromwell War Memorial Hall because apparently it wasn't fit for purpose and it was falling apart. And they've built this new magnificent edifice. I don't know if it's going to, I haven't been inside it yet, so I can't judge. $44 million worth, I think. And it is the Cromwell War Memorial, or Cromwell Memorial, for the lost soldiers of this district over a number of wars now, events centre. But can you introduce us to what happened next?
Well, even though there are essentially no Maori living in Cromwell, very few in the Central Otago region, I think 9.5% of the population identified as Maori at the last census across the entire Central Otago district, which is about half of the national average. There is this organisation in Dunedin called Okaha, which is a consultancy owned by the all-powerful Ngāi Tahu. They were involved in the design of this new hall, this new event centre on the shores of Lake Dunstan. And then they very nicely gifted a name to the Central Otago District Council for this new building. Whether or not the Central Otago District Council paid for the gifting of the name, we don't know, but I don't think Okaha does anything for nothing, Michael, just saying.
No, it's not their way. And
then Okaha came up with this name for this new event centre, which is Te Puna Mahara. And it basically means to remember a place of pools or something like that. Let me explain or quote to you from a lady by the name of Aroha Novak, who is a consultant with the consultancy, Okaha. Aroha says that the name draws on the story of Rakaihotu, an ancestor credited with shaping the South Island's inland lakes and waterways using a ko, or a digging stick. That narrative is incorporated into the building's design, including at the entrance where the ko is represented by an angled beam that can be lit up at night. Aroha said that Rakaihotu prophesies 3 pools, or puna, pools of frozen water, pools of bountiful resources, and pools dug by the hands of men. So puna is pools, but it can also be repositories, a repository of information, of knowledge, a place to hold wānanga. It can also relate to a person. A person can be a puna as well. Meanwhile, Mahara, she said, means to recollect or to remember. They knew that this was a memorial hall, first and foremost. She said that was the whakapapa of this space. And then get this. Aroha said the naming process had taken about 8 months, that's 8 months, and involved robust discussion among mana whenua representatives. And she told councillors placing the Te Reo Māori name first would be a strong signal. So, basically, Central Otago councillors last week, Michael, had the opportunity at a meeting, and there are 10 of them plus the mayor, so there's 11 votes. They had to decide whether this new building, as you say, $46 million worth, which is actually going to put Central Otago District into quite a lot of debt in the short term anyway.
Yes,
until they sell some land.
You wait till it starts, it opens, and the operational expenditure.
I know. Then it's going to cost $1.5 million a year to run.
The report on the Cromwell Memorial Hall was discussed in the non-public section.
We put things into public excluded, particularly things of extreme public interest. There was the potential on Wednesday that council would put a stop to the town hall project. What did eventuate was that the council said, by a vast majority, we're going to go ahead with the Cromwell Town Hall, the Cromwell Memorial Hall, and it's going to get built. It is at big expense, but that expense, if you look at your difference between capital expense and operating expense, the capital expense, the build cost, is going to come from land sales, and the operating expense at this stage will come from Cromwell ratepayers. And the numbers were scary. Every town needs a heart, and Cromwell hasn't got one because it hasn't got a town hall. But all that's going to be built is It is big for what Cromwell needs now, but it is going to be what Cromwell will need in the future. That's gone through now and is only just being publicly released, that news. And the reason that we couldn't have the whole discussion in public was that if it went the other way and the hall didn't go ahead, we needed to have some consideration to the people who had put the tenders forward, to the people on the Cromwell Community Board and so forth, to be able to have the discussion with them and say, hey, we've got some bad news. So the public will get a chance to view the discussion so that they know how the discussion went. That'll go up on the council website. And of course, I'm telling you now what's happened.
Anyway, this lady, Ms. Novak from Okaha, told the councillors that placing the Te Reo Maori name first would be a strong signal. So the council had to vote. Should it be Te Puna Mahara, or should it be Cromwell Memorial Event Centre? Bearing in mind that in Cromwell, there is, I'd suggest, 90% of the population are Pakeha, European.
And the other 10% would be Filipinos.
So this building is to be called, first and foremost, Te Puna Mahara, and then Cromwell Memorial Event Centre underneath.
My name first, then spacebar, 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 your name.
So it's very similar to what happened in Timaru. You were talking with the mayor up there a couple of days ago, weren't you, about their museum?
Yeah.
South Canterbury Museum's got itself a new name as well.
But he couldn't explain why it had primacy.
I know, that was bizarre, totally bizarre. And the only reason I can say is that he's woke, and and he's trying to impress somebody, and I don't know who or why he's trying to impress them. It's the same with what's gone on in Cromwell. This extraordinary comment from one of the councillors who said, by calling this place Te Puna Mahara, it's about what Central Otago could become, not what it is now. And Bob Scott, who's a friend of mine because he's chairman of the board at the golf club and is a neighbour of yours, one of the district councillors, said to the meeting, there were 600 and something submissions on the name of this place. Only 23 of them suggested that the Maori name should be the prominent one. And he said, the community says they want this place called, first and foremost, the Cromwell Memorial Event Centre. It is their facility, Michael. They paid for the blinking thing. Yet, for some reason, these elected councillors are not listening to the will of the people.
It's a memorial, so it's meant to commemorate the dead of those who have lost their lives fighting for New Zealand overseas and overseas conflicts. 2, Maori have no place here. They'd established no marae. It was too cold. They hugged the coast. There were small numbers of them. They travelled at best, but they settled not at all here. There's no Maori presence in Central Otago. And 3, it doesn't refer to the death, the sacrifice of those who gave their lives. There's not one Maori name on that plinth, and there is no Maori involvement in the wars in which those Central Otago boys lost their lives.
An awful lot of money to run, about $1.5 million each year to run, so that's going to put the council further into debt.
To which I have to say, Ngāi Tahu will be contributing not 1 cent. Not 1 cent.
Precisely, yeah. So there are real issues with this edifice that has been built. I think architecturally it looks dreadfully out of place. It's in many respects, it's a bit of a monstrosity beside the lake. It's completely out of character with the rest of the town. Anyway, it's there. It's going to be opened in a couple of months, and it's going to be called Te Puna Mahara, and I imagine that Ngāi Tahu or Okaha will be there with bells on the opening day, having gifted the name, which I'm sure that when the accounts come out, CODC, Central Otago District Council, will have paid for to have something gifted to them.
See, and that's the problem with central government, local government, sorry, it can't even understand the English language, that gifting and paying are not the same thing.